SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. We are previewing Week 9 in college football here at SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, who's covering 4 college football games with us this week. Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, before we get into Texas Tech, Oklahoma, brag a little bit about how well you're doing this year at OffshoreInsiders.com, because I know you are.
We are having a tremendous year, just over 60% in the NFL, winning in the NFL and college football combined. One of our best angles applies several times this weekend, including in one of the games that we're going to preview. Become the OffshoreInsiders.com for all the premium picks.
Okay, sounds great. Texas Tech, undefeated. They're 5-2 against the spread, but now they're a touchdown underdog at Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, obviously a great program, but their passing game a little bit down this year. Should Texas Tech really be this big of an underdog here? Might this game go down to the wire and wind up being, a 4 or 5 point game either way? I'm not exactly sure. What do you like here, Joe Duffy?
Well, no, this is a case where I'm actually going to go with a favorite. And as a general rule of thumb, I tend to lean more towards underdogs. But, another one of my many golden rules that applies in so many sports, I always say it's so much easier to be the hunter than the hunted. Now, all of a sudden, Texas Tech, they are a potential, quote-unquote, fly in the ointment. They could be a Cinderella team, but this is far and away their biggest test of the year. So now I know that Texas Tech has done pretty well this year against some decent opponents, but nothing, quite this big. And I know that their head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, he's been using that us against them. I know there's some squares out there that think motivation plays no part as far as handicapping is concerned, but he's been admitting that he is used when the media hasn't given him respect. He said that to his team. So who knows? They might show this video in the locker room before the game. Still, despite that, I'm going to have to go with Oklahoma, the favorite. They've recovered from their loss a couple weeks ago where they were essentially eliminated from the national championship race. Now they get to play the spoiler and against a team that, again, is really in uncharted waters right now.
All right, but Oklahoma's offense is in a little bit of a down year this year. Do you think it's strong enough and dynamic enough to make you want to bet them, giving a touchdown here to Texas Tech?
Yeah, well, they are overall the better team, and with the home field advantage being 3 points, this implies that they're only 4 points better. I think they're definitely 4 points better. Now, keep in mind, Texas Tech, with the Kingsbury, who was as a quarterback, you remember, he used to throw the ball all the time. It's a lot more about yards per play relative to what their opponents normally give up rather than total yards, because that measures pace. Texas Tech, their offense may not be quite as good as some of the square numbers say. They're only averaging 3.8 yards rushing attempt. The teams that normally give up 4.2. So, where it's going to be noisy in Oklahoma and you got to establish a running game, Texas Tech's running game has been so-so. Now, granted, Oklahoma, they're one of the great run stoppers, Corey Nelson. He's out for this game. It's a big drop-off. But yet, conversely, Kingsbury's got to be careful not to outsmart himself. We quoted John Wooden, who always said he would play to his team's own strength rather than trying to exploit another team's weakness. Too often I've seen coaches, especially young coaches, they outsmart the room. And Kingsbury better not say, well, Oklahoma's a little weaker against the run because of injuries and start going away from his strength. So I think that could be a double-edged sword there. But yeah, all in all, Oklahoma is the better team on both sides of the ball combined. So I think they will sneak out the victory, and especially Texas Tech, they're taking the step up. Now the expectations are much higher than when they were the Cinderella all year. They're not really wearing the glass slipper here.
All right, good arguments. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com liking Oklahoma to cover the 7 against Texas Tech. Thanks, Joe.